Honestly, some people are so toxic, you wonder if they're hiding horns beneath their charming facade. Ever feel drained just sharing a room with them? Like you need a spiritual cleanse afterward. You're not imagining it. Sometimes it's not just a bad vibe, it's a full-blown demonic agenda. The worst part, you like them, you trust them, until you realize you're playing chess with a devil who smirks and says, "Your move." Today, I'll reveal 5 clear signs someone in your life isn't sent by angels. They're spiritual Trojan horses, stealing your peace, eroding your self-worth, and making you question your sanity. Grab your coffee or holy water and settle in, because spotting these signs could save you years of pain and therapy bills. If you're ready to see through their masks, hit like, subscribe, and comment. I see the signs. Let's shine a light on the darkness together. First sign. They encourage your worst impulses. Nobody's perfect. We stumble. We fail. Sometimes we drag ourselves through the mud. Wise people admit it. Stubborn ones deny it. What matters is how those around us react to our missteps. True friends don't revel in our failures. They call out our mistakes, even if it stings, because they want us to rise. True allies know real love means holding a mirror to your flaws, even when it hurts. But there's a darker breed, subtle saboteurs, who don't just tolerate your stumbles, they applaud them. They're not the loud rebels you avoid. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, masking their motives with warmth and charm. Their tactic is cunning. They don't push you to ruin your life outright. They cheer when you do it yourself. Picture this. You're trying to live healthier, cutting sugar and alcohol. Then this friend scoffs. "Come on, live a little. You're no fun anymore." They're the ones shoving cake in your face at parties or pouring you another drink after you've said enough. They make your goals feel like burdens, your discipline like selfishness. I once knew a guy, let's call him Robert, who was charm personified. Everyone loved Robert's infectious humor. He could lighten any room. When I was quitting drinking, trying to turn my life around, he'd say, "You're doing great, but one drink won't hurt. You deserve it." He'd buy me a glass before I could say no, toasting with that easy grin. At first, I thought it was friendship. I convinced myself he was supporting me in his own way. But one night, after a relapse, I swore I'd never repeat. It hit me. Robert didn't want me strong. He needed me weak, because my clarity forced him to face his own demons. That's their mindset. They don't just tolerate your failures, they thrive on them. Your mistakes validate their choices. Misery loves company, but it craves the easily swayed most. They can't admit they're lost, so they drag you down with them. Cloaking it in kindness, they don't shout, "Be reckless." Instead, they murmur, "Don't be so hard on yourself." Right when you're teetering on old mistakes. The danger isn't just that moment, it's the slow erosion of your resolve. Stoicism teaches that your mind is a fortress. Guard it fiercely. As Epictetus said, "No one is free who doesn't master themselves." These people want your gates wide open, your defenses down. Once you justify small compromises, you're easier to lead astray. The tragedy. They're not always cartoonish villains. Often, they're lost too, terrified of change. So they sabotage anyone trying to grow. They could be siblings, spouse, old friends, People who know your weaknesses and your trust. Confronting them isn't about anger or forcing their change. It's about clarity. Stoicism urges us to see them for what they are, without illusions or excuses. Set boundaries calmly but firmly. Choose your conversations. Reject their temptations, and walk away if needed. Protecting your mind, character, and peace isn't selfish. It's essential. I'm not here to make you paranoid, but prepared. Think of someone who celebrates your worst choices under the guise of friendship. Recognizing them is the first step. Next, we'll explore how to set firm, respectful boundaries, even with those you hold dear. Because love doesn't mean letting someone lead you into darkness. The second sign, they dismiss your feelings and manipulate with deception. The most devastating manipulations don't feel like coercion, they masquerade as care, love, even loyalty. It's a haunting truth. Most realize too late. These tactics aren't overt cruelty that sends you running. They're subtle, deliberate distortions that pull you off course until you barely recognize yourself. Many of us have lived this, blaming ourselves for being too sensitive or not understanding enough. It starts when someone makes you doubt your own judgment. They say, "You're overreacting," or "You're too sensitive." Until you question your instincts. You might share concerns about a toxic relationship, but instead of listening, they brush your feelings aside. Worse, they might insist they're protecting you while controlling who you see, where you go, or how you spend your time. It's not loud threats or arguments. It's a quiet insistence that they know better, that your happiness depends on following their lead. This manipulation is sinister because it feels like care at first. I've seen people in their 50-second and 60-second, wise and seasoned, walking on eggshells because someone claiming to love them demands it. They stop seeing old friends to avoid upsetting their partner. They skip family gatherings to prevent conflict. Their world shrinks until the manipulator becomes the only voice in their head. This is the cold psychological reality. The goal isn't to push you off a cliff, but to nudge you step by step until you're lost without noticing. Manipulators don't want freely given love. They crave loyalty. They can control. They twist your reality, making their opinions the only truth, until you doubt your own mind. They do it not with threats, but with almost tender deception. "I'm just trying to help. I want what's best." No one gets you like I do. Over time, you stop resisting, not because you agree, but because you're exhausted from battling over what's real. Stoicism offers clarity here. We can't control others' actions, but we must fiercely guard our minds. Epictetus said, "We're not disturbed by things, but by our views of them." Manipulators hijack that view, convincing you their reality is the only one. The antidote is vigilance. Recognize their tactics and hold fast to reason, even when it's someone you love deeply. It means relearning to trust your own perceptions and holding boundaries, even if they call you cold or selfish for it. Seek relationships built on mutual respect, where disagreement isn't punished and your freedom is cherished, not feared. If these signs feel familiar, don't blame yourself. Manipulation is designed to be invisible. Noticing it is the first, crucial step to reclaiming your peace. Next, we'll dive into practical strategies for setting firm yet kind boundaries to protect your mind. Because guarding your mind isn't just self-defense, it's a profound act of love for yourself and the life you want. The third sign they sow: conflict and division. The most harmful people aren't always the loud, threatening ones. They're often those posing as friends, drawing you close with care, then quietly planting doubt and discord. These masters of subtle sabotage turn intimate moments into leverage, creating cracks from whispers. By the time you see the damage, they're already playing the loyal ally, cloaked in false concern. Watch how they operate. They position themselves as your biggest advocate, encouraging trust, painting themselves as a safe haven. But every confession you share becomes a carefully chosen tool for manipulation. They twist your fears into betrayals, stoking conflict while keeping their hands clean. They thrive on chaos and division, positioning themselves as indispensable advisors in your world. Their damage isn't loud, it spreads through whispers, doubtful glances, and timely suggestions that question others' motives and loyalty. This isn't petty gossip, it's a profound form of control. By inserting themselves between your relationships, they ensure they hold the power to shape your perceptions, deciding who's right, wrong, trustworthy, or not. They don't just target fleeting friendships. Their favorite prey is marriages, families, lifelong bonds, anything strong enough to threaten their influence. Psychologically, they're driven by insecurity and a desperate need to feel essential, healthy. Independent connections terrify them because those push them out of the spotlight. By sowing division, they create dependency. You turn to them for advice, clarity, peace, and they give just enough to keep you hooked. Marcus Aurelius warned that others' opinions shouldn't rule us. We must discipline our own perceptions. This wisdom is vital when facing those who subtly stir conflict. You must be ready to see their tactics, even if it hurts to admit a trusted person isn't safe. Step back and ask, does this person bring clarity or chaos? Do they resolve conflicts or revel in them? Are they invested in my growth or my reliance on them? Don't play their game or fight manipulation with anger that only traps you further. The Stoic response is calm awareness. Limit what you share. Refuse to be pitted against others. And prioritize honest, direct communication with those you love. If needed, create distance, not out of spite, but to protect yourself and what matters most. Recognizing someone's subtle harm isn't weakness, it's strength. It's demanding transparency and respect in your relationships. Next, we'll explore how to set unapologetic boundaries, because integrity in your closest ties isn't just personal, it's a duty to those who trust you. The fourth sign, emotional vampires. Ever met someone who seems like a godsend at first? A loyal friend, a kind neighbor, a family member who finally gets you. They show up when you're vulnerable, offering a listening ear, help, and promises of unwavering loyalty. But slowly, their true nature slips through, not in loud betrayals, but in small, insidious ways. They're experts at spotting your weaknesses and pressing on them, disguised as care. Their personal questions aren't about healing, they're cataloging your vulnerabilities. What feels like support morphs into interrogation. I saw this with an older friend at church, helped by a new acquaintance who seemed like a saint, bringing meals, checking in, offering help. She felt blessed, especially after losing her husband. But over time, she drifted from her grown children, saying they didn't understand her like he did. She skipped family dinners to spend time with him, getting defensive. If anyone questioned his motives, she'd say, He's the only one there for me. But the truth was darker. He convinced her that her kids were selfish, not truly caring. He isolated her to control her world. A classic tactic of emotional predators. These predators don't reveal their fangs up front. They pose as caring allies, earning trust by making you feel heard like never before. They become indispensable, the first you call in sorrow or joy, but each secret shared tightens their grip. Their goal isn't support, it's ownership. They criticize those you love, hint that other relationships are toxic, and subtly shame you for spending time elsewhere. They thrive on creating emotional scarcity, draining your confidence and connections. You end up apologizing for imagined wrongs, bending your values to avoid their disapproval, taking blame to keep peace. The tragic irony: while you fight to save the relationship, they only want your submission, leaving you exhausted and hollow. Stoicism reminds us to guard our hearts and minds vigilantly. Marcus Aurelius wrote that our souls are colored by the thoughts we choose. When these people flood your life with doubt and self-loathing, they don't just shift your mood, they reshape who you are. The Stoic solution is tough, but vital. Be brutally honest about their impact. See the relationship as it is, not as you wish it to be. Accept that some people can't be reasoned with or saved. They don't want to change. If someone leaves you drained, small, and weak, that's not love, it's predation. The kindest thing you can do for yourself and them is to step back, reclaim your mind, peace, and identity. Next, we'll explore practical ways to build boundaries that shield you without falling into the manipulative traps you're escaping. Because you don't just deserve to survive these relationships, you deserve to be free. The fifth sign they spread: dread and unease. It's a proven psychological truth. Fear and anxiety can spread like a virus, infecting your mind through prolonged exposure. You don't need to be anxious by nature to feel consumed by worry. Just spend enough time with someone who thrives on it, constantly talking of doom and worst-case scenarios, and soon their thoughts become yours. It creeps in quietly, so subtle you can't pinpoint when you lost yourself. You might think the shift in your spirit is just aging or necessary caution, but often it's fueled by an outside force determined to keep you small, doubtful, and afraid. These people don't wave red flags. They come as trusted friends, confidants, or family, claiming to act in your best interest. Their advice, cloaked as wisdom, is sabotage, focusing only on risks until you're paralyzed, questioning your ability and dreams. They don't settle for your caution, they demand your compliance. For the careful or empathetic, this is especially dangerous. We're taught to listen, to consider others' views, hesitating to call someone negative when they claim honesty, even as they choke your hope. This isn't harmless pessimism, it's manipulation to control you. They craft a reality where you rely on their guidance to navigate the unsafe world they've planted in your mind. Over time, your courage falters. Your willingness to dream or stand up for yourself weakens. You apologize for wanting more, doubt the instincts that once guided you, even forget who you used to be. Stoics warned of this. Our thoughts are our only true domain, and we must defend them fiercely. Marcus Aurelius likened the mind to a canvas, colored by what we let in. Absorbing constant fear and negativity doesn't just linger, it reshapes your choices and worldview. It's not just about mood, it's about losing the power to chart your own path. If you're living smaller, avoiding risks you once faced, or seeing only danger. Question the voices you've let close. Are they helping you see the world clearly, or keeping you trapped in fear? Do their warnings free you, or bind you to their approval? These questions aren't for the faint-hearted, as the answers often reveal betrayal beneath a mask of care. The Stoic response isn't to harden your heart, but to set clear mental boundaries, choosing who influences you. Distinguish between warnings born of love and those meant to manipulate, between caution and paralysis, honesty and cruelty, vigilance and surrender. It's about reclaiming your right to judge, decide, and live as your own steward. Next, we'll explore how to build mental clarity and resilience, because you deserve more than surviving fear. You deserve to live with dignity and freedom, mastering your own thoughts. Be honest with yourself. If these signs hit home, stop giving others chances to drain your soul like emotional vampires at a feast. You weren't born to be anyone's puppet or punching bag. You deserve peace, clarity, and the freedom to choose your path without poison whispered in your ear. Spotting these saboteurs is the first step to showing them the door, or at least smiling as you say, "Nice try, but not today." If this resonates or stings, don't stay silent. Subscribe. Comment which sign hit hardest. And let's build a space to call out this nonsense and stand strong together. Because once you see through their game, you'll never play it again. Stay vigilant. Keep your spirit strong. And I'll see you in the next video, where we'll keep exposing the darkness with sharp truths and a good laugh.